Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. A couple days ago, I published a video all up on the YouTubes about the initial lawsuit against Ripple claiming that XRP was a security of Ripple Labs. And no, I'm not talking about the SEC suing Ripple, which occurred at the end of 2020. I'm talking about one Ryan Coffey, who sued. He was the lead plaintiff, in fact. He sued, in this particular case, he sued Ripple in beginning part of May of 2018. And there's a lot of community discussion, which is why I decided to make a video about it. It's an interesting topic, and the idea behind all this is the lawsuit just seems so frivolous. Might the purpose of the lawsuit have been just to use it as a weapon to attack competitors? You know, is there any sort of world where something like that makes sense? Well, the XRP sleuths, the Twitter sleuths, if you will, which is a phrase coined by, or used by Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. One of them in particular, XRP community member, found something that I'd not heard before. It turns out that Ryan Coffey, who sued Ripple back in May of 2018, claiming that XRP is a security of Ripple, turns out this guy's a little bit sue happy. A year prior, he was in another cryptocurrency lawsuit and was the lead plaintiff for that case as well. And as it turns out, he ended up, after filing the lawsuit in 2018 against Ripple, he actually ended up working for a few firms in the fintech space. Well, isn't that kind of curious? A lawsuit against Ripple that looks kind of frivolous. It's your second lawsuit in the world of crypto that we are aware of. Maybe there were more we haven't uncovered yet. And then you go to work for other fintech companies competing against Ripple, or at least to some degree. I mean, it looked like for domestic payments for much of what I found, but still, you got to kind of wonder, doesn't this seem a little bit fishy at a minimum? I think it's reasonable to at least ask questions here. So I want to share with you a little bit of information on that. And then there's also this article from You Today titled Ripple. Crypto law founder says SEC seeks to control narrative with term crypto securities. Before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And so I will note that a part of what I covered from attorney John Deaton, because he did have a thread, and I shared it a couple days ago, was just how ridiculous Coffey's claims are, considering the length of time that he held XRP and the amount of money that he lost. This guy held XRP, I believe he first purchased it on January 5th of 2018, which is the day after XRP hit its all-time high. One day after it, and he held it for somewhere approaching, it may have been 12 days, so I think it was close to 2 weeks anyway. And he lost a total like $600. And then he's claiming that XRP is a security of Ripple and that he should have been able to expect a profit based on their efforts. And I'm sitting there thinking, you dumb little punk ass bitch. How could you possibly think that it's reasonable to expect positive returns if you really firmly believe that Ripple's controlling the price of XRP? 12 days? Are you serious? And so John Deaton articulated the degree to which that was ridiculous. And I highlighted that on my channel. And then you now have XRP community member who goes by the name of Wheezy, who tweeted out the following. And this is from just last night. He wrote, "Here's the document naming Ryan Coffey as one of the plaintiffs in the Tezos lawsuit back in 2017. Was he a plant?" Now, that was interesting to me, because now we're starting to see the development of a trend here in behavior. Just getting sue happy. Now, from what I can gather, and I saw this from a Reuters article also, so it seems like he was the lead plaintiff in both cases. And according to this one, so fine, when it comes to XRP, held it for less than 2 weeks and lost somewhere in the neighborhood of $600 because he's a freaking idiot. And Tezos was a bit more serious for him. If this is correct, I mean, he allegedly lost $270,000 with Tezos. So doesn't seem like the best investor on the planet, you know? You know, if we're looking at a spectrum of good to bad in terms of investing, he's way more on the bad side, if you will. But still, 2 years in a row. Interesting, right? And here's a screen grab here for those of you that want to check this out. Wheezy also shared this right here. You can see here he is, Ryan Coffey. That's the guy that did the sue stuff. Now, here's what attorney John Deaton had to say about that. He said the sleuths are the best. Coffey was the lead plaintiff versus Tezos in 2017 and Ripple in 2018. Coffey held on to XRP for like 12 days and lost less than $600. He blamed Ripple because he said he relied on their efforts and expected profits, and he didn't make any. And then he's got a little laughy emoji for good reason, I would say. It's completely ridiculous. This is a very absurd thing to state. And then another XRP community member shared a bit of information about Ryan Coffey, publicly available information on LinkedIn. And you can see that's him right there. He just the other day shared an article about Swift, which was from CoinDesk. That's something, isn't it? After suing Ripple all those years ago, it's over 4 years later now. He's tweeting stuff about Swift. He's genuinely interested in that, and just happened to have attacked Ripple. That's kind of interesting. Well, what about everywhere else that he's worked? You know, here's another screen grab, actually. Let me go to that first. Here. So there's this company called AeroPay, and that's a fintech company. So he ended up working for them after suing Ripple. So I don't know if that's just coincidence. Maybe he sued Ripple. Is like, oh, I'm really interested in fintech now. Huh? Is that probable? I don't know. I'm just saying, is what it is, man. It's weird to see these types of coincidences, you know. And so there's this company, AeroPay, and they I don't pretend to know a ton about them. It doesn't matter. They're in the fintech space, and they're trying to make the movement of money easier than it is. Not requiring cash or credit cards, just using an app to move money around effectively. Okay, it is what it is, but that's not the only firm, by the way, in fintech. Then he ended up working at a company called Sila, S-I-L-A. It's another fintech company. And then he most recently moved to WorldPay from FIS, Enterprise Senior Sales Executive 3, Enterprise Crypto/Web3 Capital Markets. So more stuff in the fintech space and Web3 stuff. I just, again, I'm not making an actual assertion here that he did something illegal, because I'm just saying this looks fishy, right? And a lot of times, where there's smoke, there's fire. And this is not normal behavior. You lose $270,000, and then the next year you lose $600 briefly holding a cryptocurrency, and then you blame it on somebody. Like, this is not normal adult behavior. At a minimum, I think we can all agree on that. And then he happens to go work in the fintech space. It's just a bit peculiar. See, that's all I'm getting at here. So the Twitter sleuths are, working overtime here, uncovering stuff. So as more stuff gets unearthed, I'll be happy to update. But I wanted to provide a quick update. I didn't know there would be an update so quick, actually, when I put up this video just a couple days ago. But it's peculiar, is it not? So again, if anything's to be found, I have confidence that our XRP community is going to dig it up. We don't take kindly to our investment being attacked, as it turns out, just as a community in a general sense, just saying. And then there was this from You Today. Ripple crypto law founder says SEC seeks to control narrative with term crypto securities. Crypto law founder John Deaton has called out manipulation on the part of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission in its use of the term crypto securities. In recent weeks, John Deaton criticizes the agency for trying to control the narrative with the tag crypto securities rather than digital asset security used in the Ripple and Library cases. As reported by You Today, SEC Chair Gary Gensler gave an update on celebrity Kim Kardashian, who was fined $1.29 million for touting Ethereum Max, which turned out to be a rug pull. The SEC stated on its official Twitter handle that it had announced charges against Kim Kardashian for promoting a crypto security offered by Ethereum Max without disclosing the payment she received for the promotion. Now, John Deaton thinks that the newly coined crypto securities term was all about controlling the narrative. He wrote, "Create, control, and perpetuate a narrative Gary Gensler is playing a zero-sum game. If anyone actually read the complaint against Ripple and XRP, they would have noticed the SEC was attacking the token itself. The equivalent of saying the oranges in Howie were the securities." Yeah, and so that's obviously true. As far as this whole thing about Ethereum Max, I remember when the celebrities were jumping into the world of crypto, and that's always a sign right there that we are at or quickly approaching the top of this particular market cycle when the celebrities start jumping in, and now they're suddenly interested enough to start talking about crypto. That's typically an indicator right there. So here, Kim Kardashian paid a large sum of money, relatively speaking, and turns out she was just promoting a scam. And so, fine. Okay, well, is what it is. I mean, do you feel more protected? Like, I understand, like, getting paid to promote scams, and presumably she would have been tricked into this. But that's not to say she did sufficient due diligence. I don't pretend to know. I'm just citing, hey, maybe that's the case. Even so, look at what the SEC spends their time going after. They're going after this. They're going after Libra. They're going after Ripple. Going after Dragon Chain. My gosh. And because there are so many obvious outright scams, they picked the one that the Kardashian name right there. Well, that's going to get the attention, right? The whole world's going to be looking at Gary Gensler flying in with a cape to save the day. Well, okay, but what about all the other outright scams out there that you just completely ignore to go after legitimate firms like Ripple, attacking XRP holders? What about all that? Really grinds my gears, folks. I hope this is the first and last time that I ever talk about Kim Kardashian on my YouTube channel. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.